Today we're going to be doing some gentle yoga movements. Very simple, very easy, a little bit more relaxed than a typical flow class. And this will be really good for beginners or quote unquote advanced practitioners alike, just getting in some movement into your body. And so I like to use yoga blocks always, just because nobody's arms are as long as their legs and vice versa. They just provide a little bit more support in bringing the ground closer to you. If you don't have blocks, it's no big deal. You can live without them. They are really cheap on Amazon though, so you can pick up a set there if you feel so inclined to continue your home yoga practice. But you'll get started as always. You don't need any special materials, just yourself. If you've got a yoga mat, you can absolutely roll that out. If you're working with a carpet or just a blanket, that will be fine. Anywhere that feels steady and secure for you today. And as you're ready, you'll just find your comfortable seat. Your hands can rest in your lap. Maybe your palms face down. Maybe they face up. Start to lift up through the crown of your head. Get nice and tall, taking a full breath in. And on your exhale, let your eyes close. And if it doesn't feel good to close your eyes, you're just going to soften your gaze. But for the rest of this practice, you give yourself permission to do what you need to do. And as you settle in, you start to notice your breath. Notice how the body's feeling. Even bringing some awareness to the thoughts that are taking up space in your mind. And where yoga originally started as a practice and as a way to still the mind and to come into meditation, things got a little bit more complicated. And so we brought in the movement as a way to get back into your body. And so as you take your next 5 breaths here, I just want you to notice, not right or wrong, but how you're feeling. What your headspace looks like today. And then trying not to label it. So even if you are having a tough time today, you don't label it as bad or wrong. You start to be with what arises. And you start to work with it instead of against it. Breathing in. And breathing out. And since yoga teachers really can't count very well, you're going to take 2 more breaths just like that. And I know you've been here far longer than 5 breath counts. Stick with me for 1 more inhale. And 1 more exhale. Start to let both arms reach up on your next breath and gently blink your eyes open. Go ahead and grab your right wrist with your left hand. And you'll start to reach up and over towards your left side. So you're finding some opening through the right side body here. Take a full breath in. Stay to breathe out. Try not to collapse down through the chest. Really keep the length through your spine. Inhale back through center. Maybe roll out the wrists. And then grab your left wrist with your right hand and start to take it to your second side. 1 breath in. Keeping length through the breath out. Inhale back up through center. Exhale, float your arms down by your sides. You can take the shoulders back a little bit. And then bring the shoulders forward. And then what you can do is start to bring your right hand out by your side. Left arm will reach up and you'll take a similar side bend, but let it be a little bit deeper this time. You might even start to walk your right hand out And I want you to continue to push down through the left hip. So you're trying to just move in the spine here. Some of you with a little bit more mobility in the spine might even come down onto your forearm. I know for me, my left sits bone starts to lift up a little too high, so I keep it up a little bit higher. And then again, drawing the chest open, your gaze could lift. It might feel better for you to look down towards the right hand, so you work with what feels good and you breathe. The beautiful thing about a yoga practice is if you're breathing, you're really doing it right. Trying to focus on just one thing at a time. And then you'll inhale back through center. And as you exhale, bring the left hand down and the right hand up. And you'll start to feel that length first to lift and then gently dip over to the side. Again, keeping your right hip firmly into the mat. Maybe you lower down onto the forearm or you find that space in between. And then you find the breath again here. Getting into the spine, really letting it move in all the directions that it can. It's one of the most important parts of the body that you can stabilize and move. It helps to stabilize and hold the rest of your body nice and strong. Next inhale brings you back through center again, and then both arms are down on your breath out. Inhale, arms open out by your sides. On your exhale, it's a seated twist over to your right side. You start to let your hands fall down. If it feels better, you can always lift them up. But then working that length in the spine, you'll take a full breath in. Stay to breathe out. Inhale back through center, arms can come out. Exhale, twist over to the left. And again, hands can fall down. Try not to pull yourself into any position, but really let your hands fall where your spine naturally leads you. Inhaling back through center. Exhale, arms float down. And then on the next breath in, bring them up again. Maybe your gaze lifts. This time on your exhale, elbows come out like goalposts, palms face forward. All the way down and around, inhaling back to the top, warming up the shoulders. Exhale, elbows splay out. Inhale back up to the top. Exhale, elbows out by your sides. Last one here. Inhale, sweep up, feel the spine lift, lengthen. Exhale, elbows splay out. Now you might hold here. Your gaze can stay lifted, or you can set your gaze more neutral, looking forward. You may take it the opposite direction, looking down. You keep that opening through the chest, and you've also got the option to start to interlace your hands behind your back and draw the knuckles down. So it's a similar shape. Either one works, and you're here for 3. You find that steady breath again for 2. It's one more full breath in. Stay to breathe out. Inhale, both arms reach back up. On your exhale, start to come through your tabletop pose, hands and knees. So you'll stack the knees underneath the hips. Bring your hands out, maybe even a little bit wider than your shoulders. Fanning the fingertips out nice and wide, you might sway into the hips. And then you can leave the toes tucked or untuck them and press through the tops of your feet. So neither one is wrong. But then notice if your belly's dipping a little bit. See if you can bring the core in a little bit more tightly. Find that stability through the spine. And then move from that place of stability. On your next breath in, belly drops, gaze lifts for cow pose. Exhale, tuck your chin, round your spine for cat. And do that again, belly drops, inhale. Spine rounds, exhale. One more time, full breath in, belly drops, gaze lifts. Exhale, tuck your chin, round your spine. Hollowing out through the belly, you might even tent through your fingertips this time, swaying a little bit from side to side, opening up through the back body, really feeling some space right between the shoulder blades. And then coming back down, full palms press, fingertips fan out nice and wide. Neutral tabletop, you press the ground away. Inhale. Exhale, big toes come to touch. Knees come out, hips go back, child's pose. And then let yourself settle in here for a few breaths. Your hips don't have to come all the way down. You might even find your hips lift a little bit higher. And if the ground feels far away, you can grab one of the blocks, or you might even have a pillow so that you can rest your head. And you start to focus on your next 5 breaths here, feeling how it feels to have your forehead pressed against the mat. Noticing how this shape feels in the shoulders, and if it feels a little bit too much, you bring your arms back behind you instead. And bringing the knees a little bit closer together, and you're still here for 3. Breathing for 2. One more big breath in. And release on your breath out. Arms come back in front of you if they aren't already. Inhale, press back up through tabletop. Nice steady exhale. From your tabletop, start to send your right leg out on your breath in. On your exhale, draw your knee in towards your nose. They're just guidelines, they don't have to touch. Do that 2 more times. Inhale to lengthen, point through the heel, knock the toe, hips stay square, core stays strong. Exhale, knee draws in. Last one, lengthen, inhale. Exhale, knee comes in towards your nose, and then when you're ready, you can tent through your right fingertips and step your right foot through. Now you might need to help it up a little bit. If you're using your yoga blocks, you'll bring those on either side of your hands, or either side of your foot rather now. Tucking the left toes under, lift your left knee, find your runner's lunge. Take a full breath in. And again, you can do this just with tented fingertips. On your exhale, straighten and fold over your right leg. And do that 2 more times. Inhale, come forward to lunge. Drop the hips, lift the gaze. Exhale, hips go back. Gratitude pose. Last one here. Inhale, bring it forward. Exhale, hips go back. Inhale, come forward to lunge. Exhale, left knee taps down. Now start to get your hips in line, so you're not looking for a deep lunge forward, but really keeping the hips square here, and your hands will come to your hips. Both arms reach on your breath in. Exhale, twist, left arm forward, right arm back. From here, flip your left palm. Reach straight up with that hand on your inhale. On your exhale, left hand comes down to a block or your mat. Right arm reaches up. Tuck your left toes under. Find your runner's lunge twist. Now your gaze can stay down. Your gaze can look up. You'll take a full breath in. And on your exhale, windmill your top arm down, getting into the shoulder girdle. Inhale, top arm reaches. Keep the back leg strong. Keep lifting through the hips. Exhale, top arm comes down. If this is too much, drop the left knee. Inhale to the top. Exhale, bring your right hand back down to your block. Take a full breath in here. You'll tuck the left toes if you drop the knee. On your exhale, walk right through the center of your mat, wide-legged forward length. So keep pressing the ground or your blocks away. Finding that straight spine, breathe in. Exhale, bend the right knee. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, bend the left knee. And it's not about how far down you go. You're staying nice and lifted, keeping that stability through the spine. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, walk to the back of your mat. You'll frame your left foot, runner's lunge. Take a full breath in, lower your hips, look up. Exhale, right knee comes down. Lose your blocks if you've got them. Hands plant. Send your left leg back. Tabletop pose with the left leg out. Now press the ground away, breathe in. Exhale, knee draws in towards the nose. 2 more times, inhaling, point the heels, strong core, hips square. Exhale, knee draws in. Last one here, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee draws in. And as you're ready, left foot steps through. Hands can stay on the mat or you'll find your blocks again. Start to keep the left knee down. No, tuck your right toes under. There we go. Just like a regular class. I have no idea what's going on. Right knee lifts up. You'll find your runner's lunge. Lower your hips. Look up. Inhale. Exhale. Straighten the left leg. Send your hips back. Do that 2 more times. Glide forward. Inhale. Lunge. Lower your hips. Exhale. Hips go back. Gratitude. Try to keep the hips square in line. Inhale. Bring it forward. Lunge. Exhale, gratitude pose. Inhale, glide forward. On your exhale, right knee taps down. Hands come to your hips. And then you can tuck the right toes under if this feels a little bit more steady. Arms can go up on your breath in. Exhale, twist, right arm forward, left arm back. Inhale, flip your right palm, lift straight up, fingertips reach. Exhale, right hand comes down to your block or your mat. Start to find your runner's lunge twist. And I'm going to switch sides so that you can see what this looks like over here. So your right hand is still down, left arm reaches up. You take a full breath in. Exhale, windmill your top arm down. Again, you can always drop the right knee if that feels more steady. Inhale to the top. Exhale, fingertips graze the mat. Last one, inhale up. Exhale, you start to bring the left hand back down to your block or the mat, framing your left foot in your runner's lunge. Take a full breath in. On your exhale, walk back through the center of your mat. This time, wide-legged forward fold. So position your toes so that all 10 point forward, or at least face a direction where it feels steady in the hips. Pressing the blocks away, pressing the ground away. Inhale. On your exhale, you can fold forward. Let your head get heavy. And then not locking out the knees, but finding that gentle bend. You might even sway a little bit from side to side, noticing a release through the inner thigh and groin area. Just take 5 breaths where you are. And so this should feel relatively steady. It shouldn't feel like too much effort. But really just allowing yourself the time and space to get into your body, and you're still here for 2 breaths. And one more inhale. This time you're going to press your hands against the mat or bring your hands to your blocks. Find that nice flat spine. Exhale, walk with your blocks back to the front of your mat. You'll frame your right foot in runner's lunge. From runner's lunge, take a breath in. On your exhale, hands to the mat. Step your right foot back, downward facing dog. And from here, bend your knees a whole lot. Press into your hands, send your chest back towards your thighs. So you're really going for length in the spine here. Your heels don't have to touch the ground. And then on your breath in, really lift the heels up. On your breath out, heels lower. Do that again. Inhale, heels lift. Exhale to lower. Last one, full breath in, lift the heels, keep sending the hips back. On the exhale, tabletop, hands and knees. Position yourself here, maybe sway into your hips from side to side. All right, from tabletop, inhale, send your left foot to the back of your mat. Keep the toe mounds down this time. You're pressing back into the heel. Get a little release through the calf. Come back through center. What you'll start to do on an inhale is start to spin your left heel flat. You'll send your right foot out behind you, and you'll come in to a gate pose. Left arm reaches up overhead. Keep pressing through the outside edge of the left foot. As you breathe in, your left arm reaches up overhead, so find that length. Stay to breathe out. Next, inhale, use a little bit of belly strength. Start to rise all the way up. And then stay to exhale. You'll adjust your positioning here. And so you're still pressing through the outside edge of your left foot. I know some people it feels more comfortable to bring their heel in. My body doesn't work that way. And I always encourage you to position your body in a way that feels steady and strong. Your arms will come out. You can set your gaze over your right finger. Flip your front palm, reverse on your breath in. Exhale, start to bring your right hand back down. Left arm and left leg lift up. You'll take a full breath in, a little bit of strength through the outer left hip. Toes flex towards your face. Next, exhale, hands and knees, tabletop pose. Then you readjust, realign here, shake into the hips a little bit from side to side. And now you'll take that to the right side. Inhaling the right foot back, toes stay down. You take a moment to press into the heel. You feel that gentle release through the calf muscle, coming back through neutral when you're ready. Next, inhale, right heel spins flat. Send your left leg out behind you and reach your right arm up. Same thing here. Inhale, right arm reaches up overhead. You can set your gaze in whatever way feels comfortable as long as you're anchoring through the outside edge of your right foot. Next breath in, belly strength, side body brings you all the way up. Stay to exhale. Again, find the right position for your left foot. Maybe the toes tuck and that feels better. Flip your left palm, reverse on your breath in. Exhale, left hand comes down, right arm, right leg lifts up. So it's a supported half moon. Flex the toes back towards your face, breathe in. Exhale, everything comes back down. Tabletop pose with control. Take a cat-cow here. Belly drops, inhale. Spine rounds, exhale. Back through your neutral tabletop. Keep your knees where they are, maybe even bring them a little bit wider. Just start to walk your hands forward. You'll find puppy pose from here. So it's a little bit like if downward facing dog and child's pose had a baby. You're working to press the ground away with your hands. A block might come underneath your forehead, or you might just let your head hang. You're not going to be here for too long. But pressing the ground away, getting a little bit of a back bend here with your hips over your knees. Take another breath in. On your exhale, come onto your forearms. Let your chest slide forward and your legs go back behind you for Sphinx pose. And get any props out of the way. Shake out the hips a little. Now this traditionally is taught with the shoulders over the elbows. For some of you that may be way too much in the low back. And so if that's the case, I want you to walk your hands out a little bit further. Take the rounding out of your spine here. Some people I know it actually feels better even just to lay on the ground and have such a slight back bend like this. So I want you to find what works for you. And then as you're here, feel the heels of your hands draw back towards your hips. You'll press through the tops of your feet so you make it a little bit active. And then lift your chest through your shoulders. To take some of the rounding out of the spine, you'll drop your chin towards your chest. And then on your next inhale, bring your left ear to your left shoulder. Exhale, chin back down towards the chest. Inhale, right ear, right shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. And you can take that a couple more times at your own pace. And all the while, you notice the ground beneath you, the breath within you. And it doesn't much matter what sounds you're hearing in the house. The thoughts that are running through your mind can wait. You just simplify. The next time your chin is back through center, you can hang out here. If you're looking for a little bit of a deeper back bend today, I want you to start to press into your palms and straighten your arms. Now, as you're here, if you're taking this variation, feel your core really strong. So the strength in your core is going to help protect the low back. And again, you can lift your gaze if you feel like you want to make this a bigger back bend, or you can keep the chin tucked down towards the chest. If this doesn't feel good, I want you to come out of it immediately and breathe wherever you are for 3. You let whatever variation you've chosen be the right choice for your body today. It's 1 more breath in. On your exhale, elbows splay out by your sides, lower all the way down on to your mat. Your hands can come together, forehead rests on top. And then bend into your knees, gently windshield wiper your legs from side to side to release through the low back. Let your legs go long down the mat when you're ready. Arms come out by your side like goalposts. Then I want you to bring your right cheek to the mat. With your right cheek on the mat, you'll start to draw your left knee in towards your left elbow. Lots of lefts and rights. So it's your half frog from here. And so you can flex the foot if that feels better. You might even find a blanket to bring underneath the left knee if you're not on a particularly soft surface. But just kind of letting that knee come out enough that you're feeling some sensation through the inner thigh, the groin area. And then just let your body relax all the way down. You might find that you'd like to twist into your cervical spine, your neck a little bit more. And if that's the case, you'll just bring your left cheek to the mat instead, looking away from the bent knee. Start to notice what comes up when you get quiet. Know that you don't have to let your mind go to any dark corners that you don't want to see or deal with. And you find something that anchors you to this moment. Be it the breath, the sensation in the body, the sounds in the space that you're in. Take 3 more breaths where you are. Deep yoga breaths, not stressed out people breaths. One more inhale. And then let the left leg go long down the mat. You'll shift your gaze so that your left cheek comes to the mat if it's not already there. And then bring your right knee in towards your right elbow. You'll find that second side. Trying to flatten the hips out a little bit. Looking for sensation through the inner right thigh. Keeping the arms like goalposts. You'll either keep your left cheek to the mat or you'll turn your gaze away from the bent knee, bringing your right cheek to the mat and taking your half frog second side. You're here for 5 breaths. The ground supports you. And for this moment, for this breath, everything is okay. Take 3 more of your deepest breath cycles. Take a breath in. On your exhale, right leg goes long down your mat. And then bringing your hands underneath your shoulders, you'll just flip yourself to come onto your back. It's not going to be graceful. It's not going to be elegant. It doesn't have to be. Lying on your back with the soles of your feet to the mat and your knees towards the ceiling. And then you'll just kind of settle in here. Getting into the outer hips where you just did the inner hips. You'll cross your right ankle over your left knee. So you'll take figure 4 here today. This might be enough. Just leaving the leg there, letting the right knee open. You should be feeling some gentle sensation through the outer right hip. And this is your baseline. If this feels good, you stay right here. If you're not really feeling sensation, you can start to hug the left knee in towards your chest. Now keep in mind that we're a little bit overstretched and feeling the absolute edge of sensation is not necessarily the choice you want to make. So if you get here and you're feeling a little bit too much, I really don't want you to feel much at all today. So you'll bring the left foot back down. If that feels okay, you could interlace the hands behind your left thigh. But making sure that your head, neck, and shoulders stay on the mat. So if you're coming up into a little rounded spine, I want you to either release your hands from behind your thighs or bring your left foot all the way down. As you're here, noticing sensation, noticing breath, noticing sound. Take 5 more cycles. Last 2. On your next exhale, left foot comes back down if it was lifted. Right foot follows. And you can bring your heels or feet out a little bit further, knees knocked together, and you'll dip one knee in towards the center of the mat and then the other. Just windshield wipering the legs from side to side, just to your degree. You'll take a couple like that. And then when you're ready, you'll work the second side of that shape. Leaving the right foot on the mat. Left ankle crosses over your right knee. Let the left knee open up first. This might be where you stay. You start to allow for some differences from side to side. You might even take a couple breaths here before moving anywhere else. And then you've always got the option to bring the right knee in. Maybe just using a little bit of belly and leg strength to hold it there. Maybe interlacing your hands behind your thighs as you breathe for 5. Nothing needs to feel forced. You don't need to hold yourself in any shape that doesn't feel good. Give yourself permission to do what your body and mind needs right now for 3 more breaths. One more breath in. Exhale both feet back down to the mat, one at a time. And you find your knee knock again, knees together, feet out, and you'll just windshield wiper the legs to release through the hips. When you're ready, knees hug in towards your chest. You might even rock a little bit from side to side. If it's easier to grab the undersides of the thighs, you grab the undersides of the thighs. Find that gentle rock. You might find stillness if that feels good in the low back. And then as you're ready, your knees are both going to drop over to your right. Your arms are going to drop to your right. And you'll get everything in a nice long line here so that the left hip stacks over the right. Left shoulder stacks over the right. And hands come on top of each other. And it's from this space of alignment in the spine that you find your twist. It might feel good to bring a pillow under the head. And then very gently opening up, your left hand will come to the small of your back to start. And this might be your twist today. Keeping the hips stacked. If it feels okay, you'll open the left arm all the way out. Chest is open. And then keeping the neck nice and long. So you might feel a gentle tuck of the chin toward the chest. You'll take 3 deep breaths. On your next inhale, start to bring your left hand back on top of your right. Unwind the twist, find your neutral spine. Everything rolls back through center. You might need to find the center of your mat again, so you take a second to do that. And then bring the knees in again. Maybe that little circular motion into the knees. You can take it the opposite way. And then when you're ready, both knees drop to the left. And you find that same stack. Shoulder stack, hip stack, hand stack. Starting to bring your right arm to the small of your back. And you can play with how close the knees are in toward your chest. This might be where you stay. Or you can open the right arm all the way out. Your gaze can look over your right shoulder if that feels okay on the neck. Or you'll set your gaze towards the ceiling for another 3 deep breaths in. 3 long breaths. On your inhale, start to bring your right hand back on top of your left. Unwind the twist. Shoulders stack, get that nice neutral long spine, and then roll back through center. Finding the center of your mat. You'll set up for your last pose, your Shavasana. Arguably the most important pose in the practice. And so as I said, yoga started as really a way to still the mind. So you move your body just enough so that you can be still now. And if traditional Shavasana isn't comfortable for you with your legs long down the mat, your arms out by your sides, I want you to find a position that is. That might mean you bring the soles of your feet to the mat, your knees towards the ceiling. It might mean that you curl up in a little ball and roll to one side. Or you could be seated. Eyes can stay closed or open, but you'll take 3 of your deepest breaths so far. In through the nose. out through the mouth. Emptying to the bottom of your breath, you take another inhale when you empty. Start your exhale when the lungs fill. Last one in through the nose. Out through the mouth. You'll hear my voice again when it's time. But for now, you let yourself stay. Embracing the simplicity of one breath at a time. You take your Shavasana. Take a full breath in. And a steady breath out. On an inhale, your arms might go up overhead. On your exhale, you might bring your legs long down the mat if they're not already there. Reaching through your fingers, pointing through your toes. Next inhale draws your knees in towards your chest. You can gently roll to your favorite side. And you find a few moments here before pressing your way up to a seat. A few more moments of breath. A few more moments of stillness. And a reminder that this feeling doesn't actually come with your yoga mat. It doesn't come with my voice or these videos. It's already there just below the surface of all the fog, the stress of day to day. And this practice comes in like a ninja as a reminder to slow down long enough to feel. When you're ready, you'll take your time pressing your way back up to a seat. Let your eyes stay closed or your gaze soft. And you sit up tall again, trusting the ground beneath. Both arms go up on your inhale. Exhale, draw your hands through heart center. Thumb knuckles press into your heart. And we bow here to ourselves, each other, and this practice. Thank you so much for being here.